had some really good conversations with Will, Winger, and with Coach. So just excited about the youth, the talent, the energy. Guys love to work out, which is what I'm all about. I believe in growth. I believe in opportunity. I think we have a lot of that that will occur this year. Obviously, I've been in the league a long time, so I like to compete. I like to get at a high level. I think it stems from preparation and mindset, and how I got to where I'm at today. So I like the building a lot. They got a lot of staff here, very well staffed. Still learning a lot of names. It's like a crash course on 100 new faces, 100 new names, and the guys are asking questions. Obviously, you can see how I work and how I got to where I'm at, within this league in terms of the respect that I have, but also how I play. And I think they'll learn a lot from me just by osmosis, by being around, but also me being able to kind of help out and explain why I do things the way I do, why I prepare the way I do, why I get in at the times that I do, and how you take care of your body and mind, and just continue to become a professional. They're 20 years old, a lot of them. I can't even give them my wine, so I was just like, it's gonna be, funny just to kind of see the conversations, the music, all those types of things. But they're really talented guys. They love to work, and I told them today. I told Coach BK. I said, I've been in the league a long time, and obviously I've heard a lot about the organization and some of the changes that they've made from the past. And I've never been on a team where guys work out on media day, like it's scheduled. It's optional, but like it's 20 guys in the building, G League included, where guys are getting after it. They live. The 20-year-olds actually go to their table time. The 20-year-olds like to work. 21-year-olds, and obviously Chris and I are the oldest on the team, but we like to work too. So it's just a great environment for me to be a part of.
Wes Hall, Wine Sports Network, since we're doing the names and introduction part there, not a problem with that. I asked Chris this earlier about balancing out your veteran experience and your own individual priorities with helping grow and develop the young guys at the,
I love to compete and be after it. So I think for me, it's just being a pro, approaching the game the right way every day, maximizing my talents, obviously. And that'll come with preparation. That'll come with getting there early, getting what I need for my body, getting what I need for my mind, and then going out there and doing what's asked of me. I've been doing it at a high level. Historically, that's what I've done. I've been able to adapt and play different roles. I've played, obviously, alongside some great players. I was in New Orleans with a lot of young talent, and I did different stuff, on the ball, off the ball. I'm comfortable, in all those situations. I can score, obviously. I know how to lead, I know how to follow, so I played a lot of different roles throughout my career. I think individually, when you do things the right way and you move with good intention, I think it usually works out for me. I never really set statistical goals. It's like I want to be as efficient as possible. I want to be in great shape. I'm in great shape. I took 21 days off to start the season. My last game was March 22nd. We lost to Detroit Pistons, and then I had a foot bruise and ended up not playing the rest of the year, so I've had a lot of time off to recover. The longest summer I've ever had in my career, so I've been able to train a lot, work on things that I haven't been able to work on in the past. And I'm excited to play. I'm excited to play at a high level, and excited to play alongside some really good young talent. But in terms of individual goals, I'm gonna compete at a high level. I'm gonna hoop, and I think the rest is gonna be what's gonna be.
Hi, CJ. Megan McCollum, also with Monumental. Good, thank you. When you step into a situation, and I know New Orleans, you have a lot of young guys as well too, but as a vet, what do you want to be able to take away from this young group for yourself, and what do you also hope they take away from you as you progress throughout this season?
I think I'll start with what I hope to take away from me. I think just my approach. There's a lot of different ways to be successful in this league, but that consistency matters. So by the time you get to the gym, what are you working on when you work out? Are you getting your table work in? Are you lifting? What are you eating? Are you getting your sleep? So I think they'll be able to ask me questions, obviously, and I'll be able to share my experiences. But I think a lot of it is them just being able to see, like, this is year 13 for me, and I like to get there early, I like to stay late. Obviously, I got kids, I'm married, so my lifestyle is different than a lot of them, at 20. But just being able to help give them information in terms of how they should schedule their days out, how they should be approaching off days. Those little things I think are helpful to establish good patterns and good consistency. And then, can you repeat the first part of your question?
What do you hope you can maybe take away from this young group?
Yeah, I think the energy, the youthful energy, and just the appreciation. I always say, I don't ever take the game for granted. I've been here a long time. I've done a lot of these media days, and so sometimes it gets, it becomes a job. And when it's a job, I don't want to play anymore, so I want to continue to have that youthful energy. I want to continue to love it. And I woke up today excited, even though it's my 13th time, having a media day, just excited about another opportunity to play the game that I prayed for my whole life. So I just want to continue to approach it the right way and continue to remember, like, once upon a time, like, I was them, right? Like, I was the youngest on the team, like, everything was new. I was learning, experiencing new moments and growth moments on the fly, and now I understand, like, Chris King and Mo Williams, Earl Watson. I played with LA, I played with Wentz, Steve Blake. I played with so many guys that were, low 30s, and I was like, damn, they old, you know what I mean? And now that's me. So it's like, it's funny to see through like that lens of, when I was, 21, I first got in the league, and now I'm 34. Like the differences in the game, but also like how I think, how I play, how I prepare, how I like do everything. Like I have a better appreciation of like, oh, I get it now. So it's just, I think that's just one point of view that I have.
And then you have a journalism background. You obviously have your podcast and the writing you do with the Players Tribune. How important is it going into year 13 to emphasize to these guys to pour into yourself as CJ the person, to be able to then be CJ the player, the dad, the husband? How important is it for you to also make sure that the young guys are understanding that, but then also yourself?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I went to school for 4 years. I went to Lehigh University, obviously, and I was the first player to ever go to the NBA from Lehigh. So, like, I was just establishing, like, what am I going to do when I'm not hooping no more? You know what I mean? Type of mentality. Like, I wanted to make sure I had everything set up. Broadcasting with Jones, real estate. And I just kind of, built out things that, made me happy. I call them, passions and hobbies that are like healthy hobbies, right? Like yoga, stuff like that. But these were things that I knew would be beneficial to my development as a basketball player, right? Help me talk to the media better, but help me have a better perspective of sports in general. And then I got experience to where I could be able to cover the sport whenever time. But for them, especially the young fella from Texas, I was telling them, like, it's like, it's like, what do you do besides play basketball? Like, I had that vision like it was like when I was 19, and I was still in college with the NBA. And it was like, I just sleep. I was like, bro, you gotta like find something else. Like, you don't play video games? He's like, no. I was like, all I do is hoop. And I was like, that's great. Like, that's important. And that's the type of mentality that I have. But I was like, you need to escape. Like, what? I was like, this is about to be 82 games, practice every day, only off once every 6 days. We're gonna be in new cities every night. We're gonna be landing. I was like, you're gonna need like something to do on an off day. That's not basketball. Like, massage, yoga, whatever. So when we were just talking, I was just thinking like, what did I do when I was 20? And I was like, it's like, damn, I didn't have like. I played video games for like a year, and then I stopped playing video games, and then I started have my own radio show. So that was like an hour out of the day where I could just like get away from basketball. But I said it's 24 hours in a day, so you gotta find some hobbies. Like, I'll send you some books, I'll send you some stuff, but like, you gotta find something else that you can escape the game from. Like, if you don't have an escape, you'll go crazy. And that's what I noticed in the sport. Like, without balance, there's chaos, right? Like, for me, I've tried to continue to figure out ways to have balance in my life and not be perfect, but I think it's just funny. Like, I tried to envision like when I was 20, like, what was I doing after practice? It's like now, like, my life is playing out, and I got stuff to do, but I was 20, it was like, I was like 2K, 3-hour nap, like, what am I gonna do? Then it was like 5 o'clock, like, go back to the gym, I guess. But that's really interesting, just conversations of how do you structure your day when you're 20 and you're just by yourself.
CJ McCollum, the athletic, that's a great answer, man, that's great. It's so hard to win in this league. And this franchise has not won for a very, very long time. They're trying to build it back up to where it needs to be. How difficult is it to be intentional every day in terms of these are the habits that lead to winning, even if we're not winning at the level we want to be winning at right now?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and I didn't lose a lot. I haven't lost a lot in my career, so like it's. I went to the playoffs 9 straight years. I think almost 10. We lost to New Orleans, the playing game to OKC a few years ago. That was my first time not making it. But it's just when you build winning habits, and I kind of compare it to like, this is an extreme example, but like how I raise my kids, right? Like discipline, like saying please and thank you. Even if they don't know how to say it, like I'm just always instilling it in my daughter. Like say thank you. She's like thank you. Like she can't really talk yet. Like she's learning. And my son now he's 3, almost 4, like he gets it. So he says please and thank you, or like he's like, Marco, you can't do that. Like it's instilling in him, years and years of doing things the right way, clean up after yourself. We sing the clean up song, we pray before we eat, we pray before we sleep. Like even when he didn't know how to do it, it's instilling in him like the foundation of this is what's acceptable, this is what's not. Even when he doesn't know any better. I think the same thing applies to sports. You have a young team, even though they don't know what winning habits look like, they're building habits, right? Like they're here today. I was here at 7:45. There was 8 guys here, and then at 8 o'clock there was 15 guys here, and then at 8:30 the G League team is here, and everybody on the Wizards team is here. So it's like it's instilling habits of getting in the building, eating breakfast, get your table work in, get on the court, get just like a daily vitamin. And each day you take your daily vitamin, you stack those days, and you're gonna get the results right away. It's like 21-day fitness challenge, right? Like you're eating well, but like you're not losing weight. So it's like you're doing the right things, you're building the right habits. It's only a matter of time before you have a breakthrough. And I think the same thing applies to this team. They're young, they're talented, but they like basketball and they live it. And I've been around a long time, and I always say it's not the best, 450 players. It's the 450 players that fit the best, that do things the right way. There's like 100 of the best talent players, and there's like 300 of the guys that just fit the right roles. And then 50 that are just like, is a great piece and like a good person, and they're always on time. So it's like instilling those habits early on is extremely vital to success. And you may not win right away; it may take you 2 years, but like your 20-year-olds are going to be 25 one day, and you want to make sure those 20-year-old habits are good and they're heading in the right direction. So that when they are 25, they are 26, and like your window to win is now, like a lot of OKC. Everybody is ready, everybody works hard, everybody knows what they're supposed to do, they understand how to play the game. There's a standard, even though you're losing, you can still have a standard of like what's acceptable and what's not in terms of how you play. Maybe it's a talent deficiency, or maybe you're just young and you just lose games at the end because you don't know how to win. But like you should be playing hard, you should be working hard, and you should be doing things the right way, and you should be able to be held accountable for your actions. Missing shots and making shots is not the end all be all. Like, were you in the right spot? Did you swing, and then he just missed it? It's like what it is, or did you just lift them off? Like those are habits that you have to build. If I'm missing the biggest assignment, even though I'm the second person on the team, the 20-year-old should be like, yo, see, you're supposed to rotate, and I should be like, yeah, right. There shouldn't be a whole back and forth. So I think those are ways that you build, winning habits. It's like I try not to say shut up in the house. Right? Because I'm gonna be like, shut up. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta practice what you preach, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna challenge people on the front, they gotta be able to do the same for me, and I invite that. And I think that's what leads to success long term.
Morning, CJ. Bijan Todd, Monumental Sports Network. How you doing?
I'm good, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Wanted to ask you about Bub Carrington. Chances are you're gonna be sharing the court with him a lot this season in the backcourt. 2-part question. How do you plan on working with him on the court, feeding off of him, and vice versa? And what have your initial interpretations of him been off the court as a person, as a team?
He's got a good personality. He's from Baltimore. And first of all, he's a Ravens fan. We have the same record as the Ravens right now as a Browns fan, so it's a tough year for you guys right now. But I think he's passionate. He loves the game. He's a competitor. He played all 82 last year, which is hard to do in this league, right? As a rookie, he's taller. I think he's probably grown since last year. Athletic, fast, quick, with twitch. Defensively, he's competitive. He competes. Jumpers improving, like he's putting the time in, kind of work on the consistency and the release, the balance. He asked questions. We were talking about like routines. What do I do? The other day, he's like, damn, like go home. So how you still here? It's like, you're gonna be 34. And you're gonna be stretching, and 20 year old gonna look at you, you're gonna laugh and be like, I remember when I was that guy. So you gotta take care of yourself, before you have an issue, right? You played 82 last year. So I'm taking care of myself before like my calves or my Achilles or my foot or my shoulder. Like I said, I'm taking care of it in advance. Like I don't have to be injured to get treatment. It's like I'm just making sure I'm proactive. But he asks the right questions, he works, and I think he wants to be good, and that's the important part. Like everybody has the tools and the resources, but like who actually really wants it? Like, it's 30 teams and 30 staffs. We all got 24 hours scan in, scan out access, but it comes down to who really wants it. Like how determined are you to be successful? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to accomplish that? I think he has the right mentality and approach to the game.
Chris, last one. CJ, Chris Miller from Monumental Sports Network. We walked in, I'm having a flashback of me calling your 50 points you gave the Wizards last year. So I'm kind of curious where you are. You talked about March, you kind of had to shut it down, but what have you done since March to now to get yourself ready for another season?
Yeah, I mean, I've had 13 summers to figure out exactly what I need to get ready for a season. Obviously, it's been different situations. I've been utilized differently. Probably, 9 out of those 13 years. I did exactly what I needed to do to be ready to play as many minutes as I need to play and any role that I need to play. From a conditioning standpoint, I started conditioning earlier, started the track earlier, a lot of movement stuff, obviously the shooting, the handles. That is what it is. Like, that just, respectfully, it's just really how it's supposed to be. But I think looking at my game and how my game is aged alongside the NBA, like, I can shoot threes, I can get back and forth, I can run pick and roll, I can score iso. It's just about lateral movement is huge. Guys are getting faster, more athletic, so how you move laterally, can you guard pick and rolls, can you help? And then, like, we're gonna play fast because we're really young, so being able to run the floor, being able to pass ahead, being able to talk. And I think a lot of that is conditioning. Talking when you're tired, like, you ever trying to run and you're talking, like, jogging. So, like, being able to be in better shape, being able to sleep more. I got my PT, my guy, my home specialist is here, just made it. So, like, I got everything I need to be successful. Now it's just about showing up, just clock in, and I did what I was supposed to do. So I'm excited about the year. I think this will be my best year yet. I said that last year. It was a pretty good year. I was just very injured, so it's difficult to win games. But physically, I felt great. I'm in better shape now than when I had 50 against you guys last year. Which is funny. It's funny to think about.
Lastly,